6 races down. We're on round 7. I was going to make a dramatic entrance there, but I messed up completely. 6 races down. We are here in Spain tonight. This is round 7 of the championship in bronze. The story of the season so far is that there has been a queue out of Farf's office, or into Farf's office, over in gold. Then with a lot of naughty drivers. Then Silver has had action-packed races where you've been on the edge of your seat and not known what's going to happen. And in bronze, it has been trying to catch the two outstanding drivers this season of Vessier and Nude Potato. Welcome along. It is time for the Spanish Grand Prix here in Catalunya in Barcelona. And we have gone back to the old configuration of circuit, which is fantastic, isn't it? I prefer the old circuit layout because I think it's much better than the Mickey Mouse chicane we had since 2007. And this is the first time in ALR history that we have got the old configuration of the circuit in Spain. Well, it isn't the first time because we've had the last night and the night before we had the old configuration, didn't we? Anyway, let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors. Whilst I've got, I'm actually early tonight for a change. Drivers and constructors, New Potato leads 27 points in front of Vessier on 89 points. Vessier is 21 points in front of Dr. Troops in third position. TK starting to build some momentum in fourth position. Cirrus Mushroom, ever consistent into that Mushroom is there. He is in fifth. Dynamo Dan and Marsky 6th and 7th in the Haas. Haas have struggled this week. Hopefully they could get themselves back on the horse. Slayer in 8th position, a very good start to the season, but has dropped off recently. He's in 8th now. Brooksy in 9th position now. The highlight of the season's definitely been Baku for Brooksy. 10th position for Stars. Similar story for Stars, really, but he's in the top 10 then. Alibi and Vintage is 11th and 12th, and then we've got 7 points for Smithy and Winnie. 4 for Itemizer, who's not racing here tonight. 3 for Kiki, 2 for Duncan Dave, Sick as Muck on 1, Scooby Stew and Swan Shanks yet to get off the mark. In the constructors, 35 points in front of Red Bull is the Ferrari team. Alpine are in third position. The Haas team are 1 point in front of Alfa Romeo in fifth. Williams are sixth. And Mercedes is seventh. McLaren eighth. Ninth is Aston Martin. And AlphaTauri brings up the top 10. Joint constructors, 6 months, flying out on circuit. Joint constructors after gold and silver of this week is Alfa Romeo leads the way, 37 points in front of the Williams team in second. Mercedes are in third position, very tight in the joint constructors, considering the whitewash that was last season with AlphaTauri. Mercedes in third position, Ferrari 9 points away from the Mercedes in fourth, then it's very tight. Haas 1 point away from the Ferrari. Red Bull 9 points away from the Haas team. McLaren have made their way up into seventh, and Alpine are now 7 points away from McLaren in eighth, and Aston Martin are in ninth, and AlphaTauri have broken the 100-point mark. They are 10th at the moment. They're 48 points away from Aston Martin at the moment now, so not very good at all at the moment now. Just a quick word on the gold and the gold and silver at the moment. At the top of gold, then after the issues that happened in that bump going into the pit lane, which has been very much the talking point of the paddock here this week. And Troy out of the race, 2 DNFs and 7 races for Troy, which is very unusual for the world champion there. Goodness gracious me. Let's see how that transpires. But Immortal leads the way. 7 points separates the top 4 drivers in the Silver Championship. Dylan leads by just 9 points away from Brabbit, who got a brilliant win, his second win of his career, I think, in ALR Silver. So magnificent stuff indeed there for those drivers. And that is the situation in gold and silver there as we head on into Canada on Sunday. And you got an incredible treat because I think Farf and the former Grand Prix winner Pillars will be taken go in the cockpit, will be in the commentary box for Sunday, as Knowlesy is going off on vacation for a week. I think he's going off Thursday night or Friday morning, and I'm just skiving, to be honest. I think I'm actually out on the old booze there, as it's a bank holiday. So I think Farf and of course Pillars will be in the comms box for gold, but unfortunately you get this ginger fool back in the commentary box for next Monday in silver and bronze and F2. as TK, of course, got pole position back in back in Miami. And then in Imola, he got, I think he was second, wasn't he? But he's fastest one on the medium tyres then. Let me get through the comments in just a jiffy then. But before I do, we're just going to take a look at what's going on here. TK fastest then, but just like I said, Dr. Troop said he's made his way up in the third in the championship in the Alpine car. So he is fastest, albeit he is on the soft compound tyre. Brooksy has just got into second fast as well. 2/10 of a second away from Dr. Troop said. Of course, we had, there was a stewards inquiry about Percy, Milan and Troy down into turn 1 on Sunday night, of course, there, where all 4 drivers, unfortunately, 3-1 does not go. Milan did get a penalty for his troubles and lost the win there, unfortunately, for Milan. And but fortunately for Boxer, that's 2 wins on the trot now, and he has really got himself back into the championship battle as well. My goodness me, I'm really loving gold at the moment. It's fantastic. I'm really loving silver and bronze as well. Brilliant start to the season for everyone in the ALR. It's fantastic stuff indeed. Who was that who just popped up? I'm not sure who it was. I think it was a Red Bull Vestiaire. It was indeed. Here comes Moomin Ninja across the line, going 5th fastest in the Ferrari. He is replacing Itemizer tonight. As Itemizer there, as so what about New Potato then? New Potato is starting his lap in the second Ferrari now. We got a Mercedes of Slayer coming over the line. No, he isn't. He's starting his lap then, as I'm trying to sound smarter than what I am, which is never a good sign. On board now is he coming to the pits then. Of course, that bump I think is going to be removed actually in the next patch. I've read on the old patch notes there. But unfortunately, that's not going to help ALR whatsoever. It might help the Formula 2 machines but for next week, but it ain't going to help us tonight then, is it, unfortunately. But that bump has caused issues for Troy. We've seen last night as well that there was issues. A foot wasn't there and all kinds of shenanigans was going on in silver. I was, to be honest, I was watching it, but I was doing the old stats at the same time, really, so I was kind of, it was on my big TV last night, and so I had Nosy very much echoing through my fantastic. Which is, of course, definitely what I want to have on a Monday. A beautiful treat it was indeed. Vintage and making his 53 start tonight then. Here comes New Potato, the first ever bronze world champion. He is currently leading the championship ride. Can he become a 2-time bronze champion as well? Goodness gracious me, that'd be pretty impressive indeed there for Potato. Well, that's not impressive too much there, albeit am I being too harsh on the Potato? Perhaps I am. He is 9th fastest at the moment, but Slayer going 4th fastest there. New Potato, remember, that was on the medium compound tyres there. I keep seeing a bit of rain is on the horizon here, as Slayer are just doing a bit of a shortcut in there, isn't he? Luke on an outlap moment in the Williams, who is super subbing for Duncan Dave here tonight, and Scooby-Stu also on circuit as well in the Alpine machine. Moomin, hiya guys, hope everyone's well then. The man, the myth, the legend, Sean is back tonight. I am indeed then, albeit you've already heard that I'm skiving again Sunday, and it's like, goodness gracious me, you can't get the staff these days, can you? We've also got wet, race wet or dry. Wet after 10 minutes, Goku is, Stars is saying, hopefully dry or my setup is useless. Oh dear. Hello Camero, hello, good luck races then for bronze and Styles for the podium. Yo, rain is incoming, Slayer is saying. Luke is about to start his lap now in the Williams car. I was going to say Williams Renault for some reason. It's the Williams Mercedes, isn't it? Or Williams powered by the Mercedes power unit going down into turn 1 and into turn 2. Tiger, that's a very impressive lap from TK on the medium tires. Only 2/3 tenths off of the top of gold there of what gold guys were doing. Fantastic. Not a bad banker lap. I'll take that. Moomin is saying good luck. Bronze said I'm scared of the rain. Stars is saying Sharoom Moomin Lego. Hashtag ALR. We have got we're just on board with Luke now as we are going into 7 and 8 into the far curve. We've got driver of the day, shockingly enough, as well. Farf did last night, which is absolute disgraceful behaviour indeed. My highlight of the last night's race, I got to say there's a lot of it, but I think that I did actually low out loud when I heard Nosy say, do not vote for Farf, which I thought was hilarious. Talking of Farf, by the way, Farf's had a very tough, has had a very tough week personally. The last couple of days personally there for Farf has so very much we in ALR, in Gold and everyone in ALR really appreciates his efforts there as Luke's gone full fast. Really appreciates his efforts there, of course. Still doing his admin authority stuff on a very difficult week there. So good stuff indeed there for Farf. Absolutely, he's a living legend, isn't he? And here's another living legend, of course, Smithy Almighty. Of course, he's the silver as the admin for silver then, as Dr. Troops has gone faster than 11.4. That's mighty impressive times right from the get-go here. We was in the mid-11s last night, I believe, in silver, but goodness gracious me, Dr. Troops is flying out there. The first driver into the 11s as well, and not even in the high, it's the low 11s as well. That's pretty impressive stuff indeed then. Oh my goodness gracious me. Smith Almighty then down into turn 10 and 11 now for Smith Almighty there. Of course, there I am very much brown nosing the admin there because I'm looking for a bar of chocolate. Of course, to be honest, actually, Nosy got me a bar of chocolate last Christmas or the Christmas before. I must admit, my Christmas is kind of roll into one these days, and that's the problem with when you've hit 30. You kind of, that's it really. You don't know which Christmas it was. It was the last flat before I got, it's the last time I celebrated Christmas in my Gloucester flat before I got ousted out. So I can't remember if that was 2021 or 2022. Winnie, who has just got a Ferrari in front of us here, that's not going to have the understeer on that car. That's bad. That's going to be a lot dirty air from the Ferrari. Having said that, Winnie very much on the pace. Remember what happened in Baku, where Winnie was absolutely flying, wasn't he there? Really impressed indeed then, and he could have and should have got a podium in Baku, shouldn't he? Potentially. Well, he did get a second position in the sprint race, didn't he? But Winnie once again shown he is on fine Vettel indeed then. Talking of rain afoot then as Vessier is gone second fastest. This might be a quick, very quick qualifying. Brooks is out qualifying here, and it might be Dr. Troops on pole position there. They may have just gone for it right from the get-go here, and I thought let's just get one sorted, then one in the bag. Well, Alibi, Styles and Mushroom, unfortunately, is going to be not going to get a good time here, I don't think. Look at the raindrops then falling on Smithy's head here out of the final turn, and what is he going to do? It's 16 fast turn. I think that's the best he's going to do. Having said that, it was that movement's gone into a very incredible 9th position then on a very much, well, it's not a wet track just yet, is it? But my goodness gracious me. That Ferrari is looking very damp indeed then. Swanshank, very good 8th position there for Swanshanks there. Really good stuff indeed there. I forgot to, Swanshank's returning back to action then after his eye injury. It's great to see the Aston Martin driver back in the cockpit where he belongs then. So great stuff indeed there for Swanshanks there. We might have a lot of retirements in this one now. Dr. Troops on pole position then, and that would be Dr. Troops' second pole position of the season as well. The championship leader, New Potato, that is the talk of the paddock at the moment, or the talk of the town then. He is down in 14th position, the championship leader. That's a nightmare scenario for the Ferrari team, and a nightmare scenario for New Potato as well. Very much, he's going to be in the carbon fibre zone, isn't he? Smithy also coming in the pits well, but that is it, Ed, I think, for any meaningful qualifying run. We said, someone did say 10 minutes into qualifying, about 12 minutes then we got into qualifying before the rain hit. Then Dynamo Dan down in 10th position as well, who I think was in the, was he third or fourth in the championship? I can't remember now, I only read it like 10 minutes ago. But Dr. Troop said pole position at the moment, and if he stays this will be a second pole position of his career in bronze. And of course, he's already a two-time Grand Prix winner. Dr. Troop says he's really come into the season and really made it his own so far. As he is third in the title race there, but I do expect him to be challenging the top two, which the story has been about Vessier and New Potato in bronze at the moment, and I'm really intrigued about how this one gets going. Already beat my pole. Brilliant lap there for Troops and Tango, saying it was an incredible time indeed, wasn't it there? Of course, I said that Silver's in the mid 11s there. That's an absolutely impressive time for Dr. Troops right from the get-go there. Guessing Farfus the host, Equals is saying then, I reckon Farfus, isn't he? It always rains when Farfus the host. We just got the rain coming down. Evening show, my helmet is dedicated to Rainbow Sherbert Dib Dab tonight then. Oh, I love a bit of Rainbow Wiltshire, but I haven't had that in such a long time. Goodness me. Right, so we've got Six Monk out on the circuit then. I think he is still, he is on the dry tyres. I was looking at Luke then, who is thinking about going on the intermediate tyres. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. I'm okay. Sick as muck, is it? No, goodness me. Well off the circuit there. Goodness me. Right, as we got Sick as muck there coming down the back of the circuit there. That teaches me throwing a cheeky old cookie before coming on there, isn't it? Goodness me, there's a bit of crumbs, I think, still stuck in me gums there. Goodness gracious me. Alright, serious question then. Raid, I was about to go out there. I believe you, Mushroom. Thousands wouldn't know. DRS has now been disabled, so that all but finishes the competitive nature of this qualifying, albeit it probably... Albeit I think that the competitive order is probably done and dusted not too long ago. The track is already 2 seconds slower. Slayer is saying, and so we've also got Tango first, medium first lap for Potato. Big mistake, Tango is saying. I'm wondering if that's a very good point now from Tango's technical tips, or should we say Ted Tango's technical tips, and of course. There's a member of New Potato did not look at the weather forecast there potentially, which is a bit unfortunate there, and he's down in 14th position. That's Vessier's championship rival up in second there. I'm not sure if there's rain in the race. So we've had some beautiful sunshine in Barcelona over the past 2 days, but I'm wondering then if there is rain afoot then in the race. So potentially this is why these drivers are going on the intermediate tyres now to get some knowledge then. But to get some knowledge of these Formula 1 2023 machines, I got the fastest sector, but rain in sector 3 lost half a second there. Oh dear, oh dear. ALR's cutest couple there, Sharoom's there. We've also got, yes, I have just died unfortunately, but luckily I am back in the game now. Moving, haha, we came to blows in Miami, but we kissed and made up, so yeah, you could say that. I thought we was going to lose Sean then, blimey. Don't worry, I think ALR and Nosy have tried to lose me for ages, but I still seem to come back. I'm like that, no, I better not say that analogy. I'm like a boomerang, that would do. I'm like a boomerang, it just keeps going back there. Right, so Luke comes on a lap and running, just under 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session, so this is not very competitive then. No, we're replaced by Troy, not yet anyway. Of course, I was being a Vago nerd last night, because I started, what was I doing? I can't remember what I was doing before, but I started doing some stats because I wanted to find something out. I think it was something to do with the all-time starts or something, and then I just decided to go through and do like everyone and everyone in all-time races. Apart from Formula 2, I didn't include Formula 2 or all the sprint races. Serious Mushroom obviously up there, isn't he? I think he's the 4th highest or something like that. What I was surprised by, actually, is that Troy very close to a lot of Emerson's records now. Of course, that is all in gold then, but New Potato also quite high up as well from his success in silver and bronze, and he's back down into bronze now, but he can become the first ever 2-time champ here this season. But this man here, Vessier, who's been incredible since the back end of last season. He really took the momentum from last season, where he won in Abu Dhabi in bronze then, and since then he is absolutely we've got an Aston Martin coming out on circuit there of Sick as Muck, I think it is Sick as Muck there. Since the back end of last season, Vessier has took off incredibly well, hasn't he? And he's really used that momentum for the start of this season as well. He's had a couple of difficult races though in Baku and Miami, I believe, but I think last time out in Imola he was back on the case, wasn't he, there for Vessier? On 89 points, got second for this one. Could have and should have won if that late penalty didn't cost him potentially there for the Red Bull. But he is still very much in it to win it, isn't he? There, it's the biggest gap out of all 3 championships at the moment in Formula 1. Which the gap was, if I can remember rightly, which I can't remember rightly. This is why everything's written down in front of me. 27 points of money. So whatever happens tonight, it will still lead the World Championship going into Canada in a week's time, of course. So we've got no Monaco on the calendar for this season, but we do have Monaco for Formula 2 tomorrow night. And strangely enough, Nosy pointed out, Nosy, I can't say his name now. Alex pointed out earlier on today that we got a load of people that is really interested in driving Monaco this season is into the pits, especially you've got to be careful of that bump now, don't you? There's a lovely bit of drifting there from Luke there, so just enjoyed himself in the Williams car. He's sick as mutt there, coming over the grid, hatches out to start as that Vessier retired from the session now. He just got a couple more minutes to go in this qualifying session before we get going for the race itself. But I will fight for this mushroom, haha. Is what Moomin's saying there. I cannot see the rest of his comment section. I've got bigger love heart there. Oh, it's sick as mutt there, almost off the circle there, as I've got a big old love heart there. Thank you, Mushroom, actually, because he's mentioned the comment I can actually read now. We all have nerdy moments, honestly, haha, and someone's got to do the stats, haven't they? I'm going to be honest, it's a selfish thing. I do love a good old spreadsheet, and I just love it. I'm just a bit nerdy, to be honest. That was I must say that literally I remember way back when we had gold, silver, bronze, and of course cobalt there. I literally used to sit there every Saturday and do, it was my ALR Saturdays. I don't do that much these days, to be fair, mainly because there's no lockdown these days, is there? But yeah, that used to be my ALR Saturdays whilst watching Formula 1 qualifying. Talking of which, Formula 1 is back this weekend. Thank goodness for that. It's been the longest 4 weeks of my life, but thank goodness for that Formula 1's back then. So that means no more socialising on the weekend, which is fantastic news for me. I don't like people, to be fair, so it's great to watch the Formula 1 machines back on the box. Well, I'll let Potato go through as well as he's behind me. It'll be great team orders then, 100% then. Oh, it's oh goodness me, someone's also flown by my window as well. Sick as mutt there, unfortunately spin in the final corner. Damon Hill had a huge smash there in 96, didn't he? When it was appalling conditions here in Spain, wasn't it? One of the best Michael Schumacher drives you'll ever see, and that was Schumacher's first ever win as well in the Ferrari. That race would not have gone ahead in modern Formula 1, would it? But which is a bit of a shame, isn't there? But it's just the way the cars are at the moment, aren't they? Right, let's take a look at the classification, shall we? Almost 2 tenths of a second between Dr. Troops and Vessier, and that is Dr. Troops' second pole position of the season. He got one in Bahrain, now he's got 2 here tonight in Spain then. Good stuff for himself and the Alpine team then, as we get rolling on for the Grand Prix coming up in just a jiffy. Don't think we've got any landmarks tonight for starts, then, have we? I think then Reflection started its 50th Grand Prix start in silver not too long ago. I think that was last week, actually, wasn't it? So good stuff indeed. Then I'm getting a lot of big numbers in the ALR now. So goodness me, really appreciate the drivers that have been with us such a long time. I'd love that. Right, as we just got Luke saying, with rain forecast, that I'm going to take time to practice in the rain. And also, there is rain forecast in the race, and very interesting stuff. How's that going to do for the tyre strategy? We'll find out then. What's the betting Max wins this weekend unless someone smashes him off the track, Law? I think Max is only, to be honest, I think the chances are very high, not only because that Red Bull is absolutely ridiculous. Well, it's not just the Red Bull. Max Verstappen is in such a fine form, isn't he? And you kind of just got to look across the garage, really, don't you? Perez is no slouch by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just the way that Verstappen's driving. It's absolutely incredible, isn't it? It's in such a sweet spot. But I think he's the only driver to win the Dutch Grand Prix since his return, hasn't it? 2021 and 22 and potentially 23, albeit there is rain afoot at Zandvoort this weekend, isn't it? So that should be interesting. If it's a right race, tire temperature is going to be a conundrum for the drivers then. We've also got Tango. My tires are already getting spicy, and that was with minimum temperatures. To be honest, my belly was a bit spicy on Sunday? Monday? No, it was Sunday, wasn't it, after that barbecue? Right, let's get on with the race, shall we then? Look at that beautiful sunshine. I do not believe that there's going to be rain in this race. But, of course, the weather changes on a dime, doesn't it? I wouldn't say it's got its own microclimate here in Spain, has it? Because it's usually beautiful, beautiful weather in Spain. But, however, tonight is going to get very interesting indeed then. Let's go for the grid, shall we, from back to front then. I'm going to we've got Serious Mushroom in 20th there on the medium compound tyres. 19th position is Styles, also on the medium compound tyres in the McLaren. Alibi in 18th, he has gone hard. So has Vintage, making his 55th Grand Prix start for bronze, the most experienced driver in silver history in AlphaTauri. McLaren on the medium tires of Smithy Almighty. Lovely purple helmet there. I love purple helmets. 15th position there for Sick as Muck in the medium tires. We just him having a bit of a spin at the final turn there, but that was in the wet conditions. What about the dry? New Potato, shocker, as we heard from Tango, down in 14th position, the World Championship leader. He is going to have to really cut the mustard tonight, isn't he? 30th position, Kiki on the hard tires. That's again, I think it was just lack of potentially maybe not checking the weather forecast. Kiki right out of sync as well. He's usually a very good qualifier, down in 13th. Scooby Stew, medium tires in 12th position there. We've got Kiki's gone for a spin then. Marsky has gone soft then, so he's going for an aggressive opening strategy here. 10th for Dynamo down on the hard tires. Moomin in the heart of the midfield in 9th position. Swanshanks' his nose is set then up in P8 on his return. Swanshanks absolutely demon in qualifying. 7th position is Slayer on the hard tires, and 6th is Luke on the medium. 5th is TK on the hard. Brooksy in 4th. Great qualifying from Brooksy. Winnie, fantastic star qualifying alongside Swanshanks. P2 Vessier hard. P1 Dr. Troops medium tires. And we are about to get going at the start of the Spanish Grand Prix here. This is the shot from pole position then. As you can see, Dr. Troops then is, because of that mishap then going across the line. Look at how much he's lost then on the space, how much distance he's lost then. And now then the lights are on, the lights are off then, and we are waiting to go here in Spain. It's a long drag down into turn 1. Dynamo Dad's on the pole start. He's down. And here comes Vessier, and he's alongside Dr. Troops. He's going to take the lead. He's on the hard shot tire as well. Into turn 1, 3 into 1. Does it go here? Winnie is going on the inside. Winnie takes Vessier, but Vessier comes back on the outside. He'll have the inside to turn 3. Luke up 2 position as well here. Dynamo down a pulling start. Slayer also having a look as well. They've all got through. Slayer has made contact to someone, I think, there. Or was that someone else? I do not know. But TK down into 7th position as well then. So we've got a couple of drivers that dropped down the order. Moving on the outside here. TK, they've just about given the Ferrari enough room there. TK has the quicker tyre at this stage. And, oh, moving. Did he go into the back of that Williams there? Potentially. And now Marsky on the soft tyre and having a look as well on the Ferrari as well. And Swanshanks down in 10th position as well. Dynamo Dunn just dropped like a stone. I think he had an appalling second phase of the start there, unless his reaction was appalling, which I don't think so. Vessier's dropped down 2 positions now. He's down in 4th position there. The man who's challenging for the championship there between himself and New Potato is still in 14th position. Well, there's serious pressure up into 17th position as well. Then going to complete lap 1 then. Hopefully we'll get the deltas in a minute there, but lap 1 completed. The gap there between Winnie and Dr. Troops is almost a minute there. No, it's not then. I think it's about 5 tenths of a second. Here comes Vessier. No DRS just yet then. Here comes Vessier, second in the World Championship. This is crucial at the moment there from Vessier. He doesn't want to get damaged then on Luke then. Luke at the moment is a reserve driver. So at the moment Luke is not a factor in this championship at the moment, but he is a factor in this Grand Prix. Swanshanks there, I must say, looking very formidable in that Aston Martin. Great stuff indeed there from Swanshanks here then, as he's trying to go on the outside of Marsky, but Marsky's on the softer tyre at the moment. He's going to be the man who is very much going to try and make hay whilst the sun is shining here. We are expecting rain later on this race. We've got Vintage off at the back of the field in the AlphaTauri, unfortunately dropping down into last position there. That's unfortunate. Well, to be honest, that first Ferrari strategy called Potato has had all season then. As at the moment there, he is New Potato is actually behind. That's a very good point now from Tango's technical tips. Contact there, and goodness gracious me, and Brooksy. Oh, more contact there, and Marsky. I'm wondering then if Boomin was focused on the Alfa Romeo there. Didn't see Marsky in his wing mirrors, and unfortunately, and that has lost Marsky an abundance amount of time there. Yes, Tango. Whoa, AlphaTauri off in the. Sorry, Alfa Romeo for the back. Brooksy is off the circuit there in the final turn. DRS has been enabled there, but Brooksy's dropping down like a stone now. And that is a big blow for Brooksy. Moomin is also dropping down the order as well. Look at the gap in the front, and 2 tenths of a second. We got a gaggle. It's five cars here. Goodness me. Oh, wow. And now they're moving there. It's still in 9th position. He's on the back foot. Slayer up in 4th position as well. An incredible start here in Spain. Is Luke going to try and come back up and under now? The Mercedes, not quite. He's got on the outside. No, he isn't. And the Mercedes has now got track position. Now is the hard tyres, the better tyre to be on at this stage of proceedings then. New Potato and Dynamo Dan And of course, usually the peddlers are nearer the front, then fights it over 11th and 12th position for New Potato there. Goodness me. Oh, big breath. Going through a turn at 9 Cox corner. In the boat, so yes, New Potato usually gets the call of the Ferrari strategy for most of the season. However, he is the second Ferrari on circuit now, and this is the first time this season that a serious mushroom up into 13th. Goodness me! And this is the first time that New Potato could potentially will not have the favoured strategy then. I've got indigestion. That's not good, is it? Out of the final turn, and here comes as Winnie takes the lead. But unfortunately, I missed that last lap then. But Winnie dropping back down second position there. Winnie looking strong as an ox, hitting that Mercedes. Fantastic there from Winnie. Moving, and Swanshank's dropped 2 position there, moving up the inside. Does not take too much curb there, because I'll just knock you into the car behind you. And Swanshank is through there, moving almost off the circuit there. And goodness me, that is, he is going to lose a lot of momentum then. Kiki's going to go try going for it. Here comes New Potato then. New Potatoes go, oh god, that's the 2 Ferraris there. Oh, I think the 2 Ferraris have cut the blows. Goodness gracious me. And New Potato, the man who's in the World Championship, I think it was his teammate there. I don't think he's got damage there. It is the minutest attacher to the wall for the Ferrari. Oh no. Oh, goodness gracious me, that is not good at all, is it? Wow, that is, of course, we mentioned about that being in the carbon fibre zone for that second Ferrari, and unfortunately, I think that it's his teammate and him that have come to blows here. Swanshank's in a magnificent 8th position there, but at the moment, Serious Mushroom, 8 positions, fantastic. But he is on the harder tyre, Swanshank. He's doing an absolutely splendid job out there. Not 2% fast off the race head. However, what about Winnie? Here he comes again. Winnie is going for the lead again. Here is Winnie then, of course. I don't think in a normal race situation, Winnie has not finished inside the top 10 in bronze there in his career so far. But in Azerbaijan and now here tonight, he has got some serious pace in that Mercedes. Iki on the inside, done and dusted, moving down into 10th position. And now, what about the second Haas as well? Scooby Stew off the circuit. Oh no, it is off in turn 2. That was used to be a precarious corner before the ground effect here. It's a virtual safety car, but the Alpine car has lost the whole of the wing now. And unfortunately, that's going to be a pit stop there. And that's a very early pit stop as well for Scooby Stew, who was near the top of the field there. So that's disappointing indeed then. So let's take a breath then, shall we? Then there's a Winnie leads. Dr. Troops in second position at the moment now. Third position is Vestia. 3.5 seconds behind these 2 drivers now. There's Slayer in 4th position, keeping a watchful eye on them. But remember, both the top 2 drivers are on the medium compound tyres. The next 3 of Vestia, Slayer and TK are on the harder compound of tyres on the harder compounded tyres in 3rd, 4th and 5th position. Now Luke in 6th at the moment. Marsky doing a good job on those soft tyres in 7th position. And VSC is still out the You have to adhere to the Delta. DRS is enabled. We're back racing here in Barcelona. So that's mentioned, neutralise the race whilst the debris is cleared in turn 2. And now the DRS back enabled then, of course. Unlike the safety car, where of course you have to wait 2 laps. And Moomin a bit unhappy with Brooks' antics there, I think, in the final corner. I only quickly read that comment there. So unfortunately, Moomin there having issues then as Scooby Stew out of the race in the final turn, and Kiki up the inside passes these Swanshanks here. Well, Moomin go on the outside, not quite then. The car has been cleared then, and that is a big blow for Scooby Stew out of the Grand Prix. Moomin up into 4th position, no, up into 9th position in turn 4. Swanshanks dropped down to 10th. Action-packed racing there throughout the field. Then I think that this is really going to hurt the tyres at the moment. Very similar incident Sunday between the 2 Ferraris. And always risky to set up a medium speed corner. That is the incident between the Moomin. Oh my goodness me, between Moomin and New Potato there. So maybe New Potato should have backed off ever so slightly. And on board with the Ferrari, then look at that with that on the outside of the Aston Martin. Swanshanks are repelling the attack absolutely splendidly well. But now we got so my goodness, and oh wow, serious mushroom, oh contact between the Red Bull. Alan blows off the circuit. Donovan down just about keeps it on there as well. And was there debris off there? I didn't see that, to be honest. Look at the slipstream in here, and they're all trying to defend here as much as they can. Here's Moomin then on the inside, on the outside state. What about Serious Bishop going into turn 1? And not quite then, is that they all just back off. But no, here comes Alan Boy again, up into 12th position there. Donovan Dunn then, and then we've got Smithfield Mike there keeping a watching brief. Thank goodness me, he's not watching brief, and he's very much star in this battle. Wow, incredible. Magnificent. Oh, he's gone down a bit then. We're only on lap 7 out of 33 here tonight. Swanshank's off, who's going to the back of that Alpha Tower then. And I've almost lost my headset as well. Goodness. A yellow flag. It's the second Aston Martin, sick as mag, who is really not enjoying these 2023 machines at the moment, is he? Remember, Swanshanks there was very much battling for Silverstone, was almost got the win there, wasn't he? Swanshanks has been in the past very much at the heart of the points. But at the moment now, this season, he's really strong. Lovely shot here from the rear. Well, it was a lovely shot then from the Alpha Tower before we was rudely interrupted. And is this weekend the real F1? It is indeed, my good sir. Gordo is asking, yes, thank goodness for that then. We don't have to mingle with those mere mortals who don't like F1. Oh my goodness me. And what's happening in the front there? Because all of a sudden, Festier is now in the heart of this. Dr. Troops leads. Second position is Winnie. Into third position, now goes Festier at the heart of the hard shotgun full, and when he's going for it, he's having a look there. But of course, there, as Tango mentioned in the comments, Tango's technical tip said is very dicey to go on the inside of turn 4, and the medium speed corner. Vesser on the outside there. It's the medium tires. Have they worn off already? Have they been fighting too hard there? Vesser and Winnie is not giving an inch there. He's not a part of the championship battle there. Vesser's got to remember that. He may have to be a bit cautious then when battling Winnie there. Of course, Winnie has never finished in the top 10 as he has Peso, just like he did in Baku, who is out the inside there. I think that's TK defending from Slayer, who has dropped down the order. Probably a lap or two ago, to be fair. You would think that I should really be keeping up with developments here, shouldn't I? One incredible start then to the Spanish Grand Prix. Lap 8 of this race then. Make that lap 9. Now, New Potatoes trying to recover back through the field then. We had a VSC, no safety car just yet, and now once again we're doing more slipstream. Look at the top 5 there. 5.5 seconds now in front of Luke in at 6th position there. Kind of cut adrift now, Luke is there, and so Luke at the moment there is going to have a very lonely race there at the moment in 6th position. Marsky and 7th position, 6th got 3-second penalty. In the background, we got more battling. Here comes Moomin and Kiki. Moomin now past Kiki. They just cannot get out of each other's DRS here, can they? And it's probably slowing them down, really, isn't it? But of course, these drivers are not going to just give an inch on it. They're not going to wave anyone through on it. They are racers. Swanshanks has dropped a couple of positions since we last looked at him. Alibi is now on the outside. There's a Philip Marbles already developing off the racing line here. Alibi going on the inside now, but Dan, who? It's Dan. It's Donovan Dan still in 11th position there. Brooks has also joined this battle as well in 13th position. Oh my goodness me. And I was looking at the wrong card. I got a bit worried then. Shrooms versus Moomin then for Equaz saying it is a close set. Sorry, it is close, Gordo is saying it really is indeed, isn't there? You can tell how close it is because I am glistening then in the very low light of my comms box here. Serious Mushroom is up into 9th position. He's on the outside. He loves that maneuver there, doesn't he, Mushroom does? And he's going to be on the outside. Not quite that as he backs off. But look at that Kiki all over the road there, isn't he? As Winnie has taken the lead into turn 1 here. And goodness me, now here comes Mushroom as well. Also up into 9th finish there as he's down into 10th. And here comes Donovan Dan as well. Donovan Dan is steaming through. And on the outside then, he keeps to the racing line and gets the job done. Kiki is sticking it on the inside though. Donovan Dan there. Kiki, that's an incredible defensive display there for Kiki. But as he got the perch there, oh my goodness, he runs in wide there. Donovan Dan has had to lift off ever so slightly. And Kiki snails the measure there. Yellow flag then. One of the Ferraris is off. I think it's New Potato off in the background. The championship leader. We got 5 here. Contact then. And now Donovan Dan and Brooksy on the outside there. And he's going into turn 5 here. Brooksy now up in the 10th position, Donovan Dan in 11th, Kiki in 12th position. Who's that? That's a Red Bull up the inside into Farf Curb. And yes, Alibi now up the order as well. Swanshanks unfortunately has dropped down to 15th. This battle is really not helping Swanshanks at all. As it contact, and there's 2 cars off. Alibi and Smithfield Monty has crashed at Cox Corner. Oh dear. And Oh my! You can see that one coming, couldn't you? Because it was getting very feisty indeed between all those drivers there. I'm not sure if New Potato had any issues or not, but he did. So he did. I think he had a yellow flag momentarily for the second Ferrari. Up into third position goes TK. Down into fourth goes Vessia. Then there's this is an action-packed Grand Prix. An action-packed Grand Prix here tonight. Vessia in fourth position. Well, now, remember though that the strategy has not come to play yet. I'm impressed with those soft tires of Marski. Remember though that a lot of drivers preferred the softer compound tire, didn't they? And it's certainly coming into roost as well. So Marski doing a magnificent job on those soft tires. Just like Luke though, he's in a bit of no man's land at the moment, isn't he? Alibi dropping down to 18th position. There's damage on Alibi's car. I think he might just be trying to recover as him and Smithy came to blows at Cox corner. This corner here, Winnie leads the race with just one third race distance gone. Then Swanshanks has got past Kiki and now up into 12th position there for Swanshanks in the heart of this battle. There, Swanshanks has returned with absolute vengeance here tonight. He is flying out there, isn't he? There, 2 races off then for Swanshanks. He's recovering from an eye injury, and my goodness me, he is absolutely flying out there at the moment. Now, Winnie leads. Second position is Dr. Troops, and once again we're back into this long back straight. And very unusual for a traditional Formula 1 circuit. It's not very traditional these days. Well, it's not a very well, it's a traditional circuit, isn't it? Dr. Troops up into the lead of the race. Then, oh, as Winnie trying to go up and under here. Then, and look at that. That he is all over Dr. Troops like a bad suit here. He knows though that TK is probably wants to strike as well. And once again, and Winnie, look at that. He's got so much momentum there up the inside there. And look at that incredible stuff there. And Winnie there is going to have a look on the outside. That he has got the momentum. Winnie has there. Dr. Troops has the inside. But look at that. Winnie is steaming through and takes the lead there. And Dr. Troops going to have to go to the fence for it because TK is also in the balance roll on board there with the Williams driver. Gosh, my word there. Oh, gosh, goodness gracious me. I don't need to go to the gym, do I? Just need to commentate on ALR races. Fantastic. Lap 12 out of 33. Winnie, and we got a 3-second penalty. That's the second 3-second penalty of the race so far. The top 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Fab 5 are absolutely having a clink here tonight then. And the rest of the field just cannot keep up with these drivers at the moment. They've got absolute hot pace out there. Incredible stuff. Lap 13 then, and now here comes Dr. Troops once again then, and here he comes, and he is gaining then, and Winnie there ain't gonna be able to defend this one too much then, is he? But I thought that in the last lap as well. We got Luke off the circuit. Oh dear, Luke is in major power, and I think that he's coming to the pits, and he's at that bump there coming into the pit lane potentially, but he's in the pits now. Oh dear, that there's debris all over the circuit there, and it's a VSC. I think that I wonder if Luke has hit the wall then coming into the pit lane, which that bump has been a talking point for a lot of drivers that over the course of this event. That Luke has changed the nose cone as well. That's going to cost him about 18 seconds there, isn't it? That's bad news for the Williams team and for Luke as well. Styles also coming in the pits as well. Styles on the soft tires and sick as mug stays up. New Potato in the pits, and the Ferrari mechanic going to work as well, and that's another set of medium tires there for New Potato. So he's guaranteed a 2-stop race here. He's going to have to come to the pits again and go onto the soft tires. Vintage also in the pits as well. VSC is still out. The gap then is now 11 seconds, and so no racing just yet in between these drivers then. It had to end in tears, Gordo saying. It certainly did indeed, didn't it? But it was fantastic to watch up until that point, wasn't it? Well, maybe not for you guys and girls supporting at home then for your favourite drivers, but it was certainly fantastic to watch Roy Luke, I'm sure of it. Absolutely magnificent stuff. Is anyone going to take advantage of this VSC? It's a very long VSC. Is anyone from the top? Nope, all the top 5 has stayed out at the moment. You have to be cautious coming into that pit lane now because it's been a lot of problems then. VSC is still out at the moment. Now we're racing again. A New Potato drive-through penalty, and Winnie has taken the lead then. And I'm wondering if he just timed that to absolute perfection there, because it looks like Winnie was very much under the doubt. I wonder if he was under the doubt then and got a better run, and then took the lead then over Dr. Troops, and now he's back in the lead here. Brooksy and Dynamo Dan also fighting into turn 1 there. Dynamo Dan now up into 9th position and moving just in front of him. Serious Mushroom is actually gapped to the drivers behind him now. He's doing a great job once again, Serious Mushroom is. And he is out of DRS range of the drivers behind him, and he's almost in DRS. Well, he wasn't. I thought he was, but he's not anymore. He was He is not in DRS Ranger Marsky just yet, but great stuff there from Serious Mushroom. And then after moving, then is Dynamite Dan, Brooksy, Kiki, Swan Shanks, and Smithy Almighty is coming to the pits under the VSC. So did New Potato. So did Stars as well, and Luke. Unfortunately though, for New Potato, a nightmare race tonight. Then he is going to drive through penalty for speeding under the VSC, as well as issues between himself and his teammate there, which is going to be a talking point on this one, I think, after this race. As we come across the line once again, and lap 15 out of 33, and I think a lot of these drivers are going to try and go on the soft tires at the end of this stint. Then back down to someone and on board with TK once again. Smith into the pits. Who's that? Marsky has had enough. He's into the pits. And I think this is a good time then to go into the medium tires there for Marsky. Marsky may have judged the strategy to absolute perfection here. We've heard that in the preview to this show. In the preview to the show, then we may have some rain coming up very soon. Of course, the rain in Spain will cause some pain. And I am also a rapper as well. Well, no, I'm not actually. I'm completely not. Whoa, it's TK off the circuit, and he's lost 2 positions there. The mistake at Farf corner, then just before Cox corner, and TK has lost 2 positions there and lost a bit of momentum. That's the camera we want. Then look at that then, and look at as Winnie leads once again. Then I'm not going to make no bones about it. Then at the moment, I love an underdog story, and at the moment, Winnie is the underdog there. He's never finished inside the top 10 in his bronze career in a race event. There, not a sprint, in a race there. He finished second in Baku, didn't he? In that incredible sprint event there, but he never finished the race. He never finished the race in the top 10. And look, Dr. Troopson steaming through on the inside there, passes when he takes the lead once again. Vessier knows though that the drivers, he does want to get involved too heavily in these drivers front there. I got to say, racecraft so far between these drivers have been absolutely splendid stuff indeed. Really well done indeed. I'm absolutely all inspired by these drivers there. It makes me want to go on time trial and try and improve, but however, that is not going to happen. Because I have not got the focus, the skill, the precision, anything that these drivers has is absolutely superhuman tonight. And I take my hat off to you. Really good stuff indeed. And coming up into turn 9 as well. I keep wobbling my headset, which is annoying me. Let me sit down. Right, Dr. Troop said 2 tenths a second away once again, and Vessier third, Slayer fourth, TK in fifth position. The gap is now 12 seconds in between TK and Mushroom, is because of all the battling that's gone on, all the slipstream and all the DRS in this gone on. It is really it's just completely spread out the field, hasn't it? Very much a field spread. We're going to get a lot of field spread in tomorrow as well in Formula 2, where we're in Monaco. I've got to wish we'll come back to that a bit because we're still in Spain, and Whitney takes the lead. Dr. Trooper said, and I got to say that the second half of the race is going to be critical then. Who is going to be able to manage their tyres the best then? What tyres are these drivers going to go on? Surely it is soft tyres now then for all these drivers, and it has not pitted yet. Brooksy has got past Dynamite Dan as well. I need to keep it on everywhere, but it's so difficult at the moment, isn't it? I've been fraud in the top 5 as well as everywhere else. It's magnificent. It really is indeed that. Brooksy now up in his 7th position. Brooksy does have the speed, doesn't he? There, do you reckon Brooksy should be in the top 5 for that battle to make it top 6? I reckon he should have been. Very good stuff indeed then. It's getting very gloomy out there, isn't it? Do you reckon actually that these drivers are staying out then because it's going to get wet then? That might be the reason why. There's me thinking that they're trying to hang out for soft tyres, but potentially we may need the intermediate tyres. And of course, exactly what they say on the tin, it's between a wet and a dry tyre then. Of course, if you that's a major problem there for Dr. Troops, and unfortunately he's been caught red-handed there. Dr. Troops had a 3-second penalty. The pressure is now on the man who's a 2-time winner in bronze set, and here he goes and he takes the lead again, but now he has got to somehow do something that he's not been able to do in this race so far, and that's gap the rest of the field by 3 seconds, which I don't think is Oh, goodness me, and here comes Winnie again. Oh, my goodness me. Up the inside then, Winnie does that. Winnie thinks better of it. No, he doesn't. Contact, 3-second penalty, and Winnie takes it. He wants to get the Dutch troops there. Ever so slightly getting nerfed out the way. Marsky gets a 3-second penalty. Dr. Troops there is not going to be too fond of that maneuver there from Winnie. It's getting his elbows out, certainly. Now, medium speed left-hander calls in, right-hander. I'll get there eventually. I probably would be turned left through that right-hander, to be fair. And Winnie is a bit overtaken there, and either Winnie there is being a very good sportsman there and letting Dr. Troops go back by, or Dr. Troops had a much better run out of turn 9 then, potentially. Oh my goodness gracious me. And flicking it through then and turn 13 and 14, and once again Dr. Troops then is absolutely putting as much he's really pushing as he hears Winnie again then. It is rain! It's that rain on the cockpit. I'm just having a look then. Let me get me Specsavers on. Yes, there's drops coming from the sky here in Spain. Brooksy's got a 3-second penalty. I have not shut my door. I'm in trouble with my neighbour, I think now. Lap 19 out of 33 here. Winnie leads, but it is rain now, and look at how much time that he's lost there. Dr. Troops has it, and Fester's all over the back of him as well then. When some drivers see the rain then, it is much worse there. It is much worse on the on their visors there. It's going to be streaming off of the visors, and that could give him a difficult perception there. It could be raining. They might think it's raining harder than what it is at the moment. It's just some little raindrops. I say little. It is still going to be very difficult at this stage of proceedings, and my goodness me. And now then the question is going to be, how hard is this rain going to get? How long can these tyres stay out for? Everyone up to, well, no, the top 11 have not pitted yet. Marsky is the highest driver that pitted on those soft tyres there, but he's going to be a little devastated by this unless the rain is just light then. And now into turn at 13 and at 14 then. No one's pitted just yet then. Look at Slayer then just dropping ever so slightly back there. And I think the TK, oh my goodness me, there, I thought he was in the back of him there. TK up into, no he isn't there. As Slayer has got back, got back in front. He's out of DRS range. Look at the raindrops there. Not heavy too yet then. Into turn 1, TK passes Slayer up into 5th position. Unbeknownst to me, and I should have mentioned this a lot sooner, is that the Mercedes are 1st and 5th. This is beautiful for the constructors and the joint constructors. That's absolutely great stuff indeed then. It's been a very trying time for Mercedes there in the constructors in gold then. Great stuff for Brabham last night, who did win his 2nd Grand Prix of his career in silver then. But of course Mercedes, they could have had a hat-trick, couldn't they? But unfortunately Milan did get a penalty which dropped him out of the race win, unfortunately there. So he might be a bit so Mercedes might be a bit sore by that then, albeit Brabham certainly helped certainly gave him a bit of a smile about, didn't they? Just Winnie there, who's just once again defending. He's driving superbly well, isn't he? Smithy Almighty into the pits very, very early there for Smithy Almighty, and Stalls as well. Both McLarens in the pits then. And unless they know something that the rest of us don't know, I'm surprised they're in the pits so early. What? No, Winnie's in the pits as well. And the race leader coming into the pits, and good gracious me, he has to slow down to 80 kilometers an hour, and he's looking for his mechanics. And whilst we're going to go back to the action in front then, and Fester takes the lead. Is that a mistake? No, he doesn't. Sorry, I don't know what I'm looking at there. Fester does not take the lead, but is that a mistake then for Winnie? He comes out of it. No, Mushrooms in the pits as well. Maybe these drivers love the helmet, by the way. So maybe these drivers know something I don't. I thought the rain is not heavy enough for the intermediate tyres. Let's see how this one transpires here tonight then. And we got movement, and this is important for Winnie. He now needs to get those tyres up to temperature. He now needs to find confidence early and quickly. He now needs to get on with this one now. Winnie does, if he wants to win the Spanish Grand Prix, if he wants to get his first ever win in bronze and his first ever top 10 in bronze as well. Good heavens above that. He's done it superbly well. And look, he is gapping movement as well. And this is crucial. I think he's called it absolute stonkingly right then. I'm wondering if I'm wondering then if Winnie's got a engineer in his ear then who's a very experienced ALR campaigner, the second all-time highest I think in terms of appearances, maybe whispering in his ear ever so slightly. Dr. Troops into the pit said Vessier is staying out there, Vessier is staying out, he is on the harder tire, that might be the reason why then, he may have more grip then, slowing down then, we do not want any 5-second penalties, and Dr. Troops said TK in the pit as well, Slayer and Vessier stayed out then, ALP Mechanics going to work then, look at that then, synchronized swimming, absolutely fantastic, and hopefully you won't be swimming though if the rain gets too hard then. Also into the pit says the Williams mechanics, and look at that, and the Carter 99 then in and out, shaking all about then. Dynamite down then, where's Winnie? Look at that, Winnie is taking him, look! Oh my goodness me, he's done it, he's back in the lead, oh my goodness me, and he is now back in front of Dr. Troops. Incredible, and he's actually gapped him as well by a couple of tenths of a second. Doesn't sound like much, but in real world of Formula 1 it is night and day. Brooks has had an absolutely outstanding out-lap there, or in-lap then, hasn't he? Because he's got in front of his teammate Mushroom. That's very impressive stuff indeed there for Brooksy there. I got to say, Charles Leclerc-esque lap there for Brooksy. Remember when Leclerc had got an incredible 9th position in the Brazilian Grand Prix in qualifying. So the top 3 have not come into the pits just yet, have they? I don't believe they have anyway. Well, according to the graphic they haven't, and they also got the dry tyres on as well, so Vessier now into the pits. Dynamo, Jake Slayer might be also coming into the pits while they're... Oh, it's Slayer then almost a victim of that bump. Then we got that's a McLaren in the pits. He's already on the intermediate tyres, and so a problem there for the McLaren styles there. And now Vessier onto the intermediate tyres. Remember that Vessier is fighting for the championship at the moment. His championship rival New Patel having a nightmare race down in 17th position. Coming out the pits now. Where's Winnie? Where's Winnie then? Where's that Mercedes? There he is, and Winnie is through, and he's also got McLaren there as well. Dr. Troops is going right onto the back of there. Is that that McLaren just got out of the way there. Styles doing a very gentlemanly thing there of getting out of the way then. So as we're just watching Marsky here. Where's Donovan? Oh, Donovan. I thought Donovan was right behind him, Marsky, but he's not at the moment. Battle resumes then. 10 laps to go in this race. We're in the final third of this absolutely enthralling Spanish Grand Prix. Marsky, sick as muck, and New Patel all out on the dry tyres. And everyone else now on the intermediate tyres. No spray just yet. No spray just yet then, so it's borderline intermediate tyres. We're taking a look at Marsky, seeing if he is gaining or losing time. I think the intermediate tyres are the preferred tyre on there, but Marsky has still got some speed. And look at Dr. Troops, and he wanted that manoeuvre, and he has done it. He has passed Winnie and takes the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix. I wonder if Dr. Troops has been a bit more confident in this stage of the race. And of course, with the rain coming down there, Winnie there is going to be not a Grand Prix winner, is he? In his career, Dr. Troops has won 2 races at this level so far, and I'm wondering if Winnie there is maybe they're just taking it easy now, isn't it? But all of a sudden, this race has swung into the advantage of Dr. Troops, and maybe Vessier as well. Winnie dropping down into 3rd position, but Vessier knows that Dr. Troops does have a penalty. Vessier maybe threw away a win last week in Imola. Is he going to do the same again here tonight? Hopefully not then from Vessier's point of view there, but the pressure's on Dr. Troops now. I think that Winnie's struggling at the moment, isn't he? So Dr. Troops and Vessier flying up there. Yellow flag said is one of the McLarens is crawling. I'm not sure. I think that might be Smith Almighty. Luke has got past Kiki. Luke down into top of this there. Made a mistake and brought the BSC in the a couple of laps ago as well. Our apologies, guys. I've not read your comments for quite 18 laps now, have I? Goodness gracious me. There's a red light is flashing, and that usually means harvesting the dry, but in the wet then, because it's rain there. And look, that I think the Tango did mention something about the crossover. Definitely not to the crossover still. Oh, it's the crossover. Sorry, I've read that completely wrong. Tango, apologies. I'm trying to look down and look up at the same time, but I can't do both feet. Oh, is that Winnie off the circuit? He is almost off the circuit there. Vessier is literally pushing him and takes the lead then of the Spanish Grand Prix. Vessier is flying out there now. TK up the front there. Winnie is struggling for pace now. He's lost 2 seconds on that lap alone. Winnie has then. Oh dear, then Winnie. Oh, what a shame for Winnie. there. The rain has come in, possibly not the best time there for winning. This may have cost him the Grand Prix win. However, he's never finished in the top 10 before winning, hasn't there? But he is driving superbly well today, isn't he, in that Mercedes car? He's been brilliant, hasn't he, when he has there? My candidate for driver of the day so far, but I'm not saying anything more. We all know about the commentator's curse there. Moving up into 9th position, Luke in 10th position there, but Swanshanks in 11th. Swanshanks doing a bit of hop, skip and a jump there over the student policeman. Well, they call student policeman still, I don't know, to be honest. But there's a Kiki in trouble from Marsky on fresh intermediate tyres, and this could be crucial because the rain is not heavy, is it? I would say then that it is probably just about intermediate conditions there, but you still have to take care of the tyres. The movement's gone off there, or gone wide, I should say, and now Swanshanks, unfortunately. Oh, and who's that? Kiki in the wall, and oh dear, and Marsky is very close to the back of Kiki. Did Kiki just got too much power? Winnie's got a 3-second penalty. Oh goodness me, it's not going well now for Winnie in the Mercedes. Did Kiki get too much power there on these very high torque machines then? Or was there a bit of a helping out from Marsky potentially? Look at that. There's very difficult times to run, and TK has Winnie is now through. Oh, contact there. Winnie just about keeps on the rope, but Slayer is through up in first possession there, and Swanshanks is through that. New Potato out of the race there, unfortunately. Oh, the final turn. Swanshanks is now in 10th position, moving in 11th. DRS is still available at this moment in time. Then yellow flag is for New Potato. Then his first retirement of the season, I believe that. My goodness gracious me, the back on board that TK off the circuit and ever so slightly. Dr. Troops is not too far in front. There he is, Dr. Troops is in the Alpine. Vessier is 5 seconds up the road. He is loving life out there at the moment there. See, Vessier has really transformed this race since the rain has come down, and now it's Dr. Troops, TK, and yellow flag then for one of the it's for the Ferrari then of New Potato out to the Grand Prix. The second for the other Ferrari of moving now into 10th position now. The penalties are starting to roll in ever so slightly, but Vessier now is starting to pull away. He's loving these wet conditions at the moment, isn't he? Dr. Troops has a 3-second penalty. TK or Slayer that could help him later on this one. Now the Alpine of Dr. Troops needs to find some pace now. Look how wet it's got all of a sudden. It's been a very slow burner in terms of the rain coming down, but all of a sudden it is starting to really hammer it down now, hasn't it? And here comes Slayer then. Of course, DRS is still available at the moment, and the FIA, the race stewards, has not deemed it to be too dangerous yet. And it's Slayer on the outside, back into third position there for Slayer. He's going to be overjoyed with this. So I don't think Slayer got a podium this season already. I'll have to look at that in a minute. But now TK then has been very much hung out to dry. Now the second Mercedes is through of Winnie. He is up into 4th position there. Both Mercedes has passed the Williams. What an incredible race it's been, and Marsky using those fresh intermediate tyres to his advantage, moving himself up into 5th position and moving, having a battling race there, but at the moment he's going to have no reward for this, and both Ferraris not scoring either. That is a nightmare for themselves in the constructors' standards, and who are leading at the moment. Back on board with Winnie now then, and Winnie is now not too far away from his teammate here. Dr. Troops has gapped these guys now, so I'm wondering if Dr. Troops has finally got some confidence in these conditions there. That is the main point about this there. It is all about getting some confidence in this one there. This is going to be huge then for Vessier in the championship. Kiki's got a 3-second penalty. It is indeed then a no-point score for New Potato. Vessier currently on that 25 World Championship points. Kiki out to the Grand Prix as well. Nightmare race there for Kiki. Yeah, New Potato then, so the gap is going to be down to 2 points in the top of the championship then. This was the, of course, New Potato had the biggest advantage of all the championships going into this race then. And now all of a sudden all the championships then have really shrunken down then, haven't they then? As all championship leads, Dylan had a decent race last night, but all championship leads have been shrunken, haven't they, here in Spain then this week? And of course, 2 points separates the top 2 in gold, then and potentially 2 points separates the top 2 in a bronze as well. 9 points separates the top 2 in silver. It's absolutely enthralling stuff this season. ALR, fantastic stuff indeed. And not forgetting Formula 2 as well. However, I have forgotten Formula 2 stuff because Formula 2 is tomorrow night there. Vessier, 5 seconds now in front now. Alibi's got a 3-second penalty. Dr. Juice second position. He's just about got that gap there, which he needs over Slayer. With Winnie in 4th position well there, but they're trying to drop TK. DRS is still enabled, I believe. I haven't seen the DRS being disabled just yet then. Lap 28 out of 33 here then. Vessier, I think I can't remember how many wins he's going for now, is he? I think that this will be Vessier's. Just watching the Winnie as well. I just looked up there as I thought that Winnie had an issue there. Who's driving superbly well when Winnie is there. I'm willing the Mercedes driver home and on. He's doing a superlative job indeed. That this will be Vessier's 3rd Grand Prix win of his career, his 2nd of the season. And now comes Winnie there, but he looks like he maxed out there. I wonder if actually Winnie backed off ever so slightly as potentially just trying to consolidate this incredible result for himself and the team as well. Winnie doing a great job here tonight, and he's shown flashes of brilliance as in back here. And then once again here tonight, when Winnie gets the when Winnie really gets it down, gets the car performing right, then he's absolutely unstoppable, isn't there? Very impressive stuff indeed there for Winnie. However, TK currently sitting in a de facto 4th position there because Winnie does have a 3-second penalty. Brooksy just in front of Dynamo Dan there. Serious Mushroom in 8th position there. Winnie's gone wide in 4th corner there. And now TK is going to be rubbing his hands there, potentially get into 4th position. He might be able to get up to 3rd as well. Alibi's got another 3-second penalty. Struggling down. I don't know, he's got a 3-second penalty there because he's coming into the pits. So I think that's a bit harsh there. But Alibi coming into the pits then so for the Red Bull. Issues there for Alibi down in 15th position now. Whilst the other Red Bull is currently leading the way at the moment. This rain hasn't got too heavy, has it then? So there's no standing water then. It's just light enough then. The intermediate tires are going to be well at home for this one now. Hungry Styles languished down in 7th position. Forgot a setup there. And that's what the issue's been for, unfortunately for Styles tonight. Is Gordo there, who Gordo is, there's only 5 laps left. Yeah, absolutely, this race has flown by, hasn't there? As we've got a bit of a lull in proceedings, haven't we? Serious Mushroom, I wonder if Serious Mushroom and look, I've noticed when the rains come down, it's really helped some drivers, and other drivers it's really hindered, like Mushroom, I think, for one. Brooksy really excelled on those in-laps, didn't he, to get himself up in his 6th position. Winnie has really dropped off the pace noticeably, whilst Vester has just stormed off since this rain's come out there. Driver of the Day vote has come up then, so who would you put in then for Driver of the Day vote? Vester, Dr. Troops or Slayer is going to be... is in the driver of the day vote then, so get those votes coming in. Marsky is also going to be able to get a late charge as well. Swanshank said the best performance of the season so far. He hasn't got any points so far in his campaign, but this is a massive improvement on his return. Remember, Swanshank has not raced in the last couple of races with an eye injury, but he has absolutely flown back into contention tonight, hasn't he? Really good stuff indeed there. Serious Mushroom there. Unfortunately, he's just got no pace on the in the intermediate conditions, has he? And are really struggling at Alfa Romeo. Dropping down then. He is dropping down the order. He's down to 9th position now, isn't he? So get your votes coming in then. Dr. Troops, Vester and Slayer then. All for driver of the day then. Of course, Vester 50%, Dr. Troops 33%, and Slayer 17% of the vote. Winnie there, just not straight, believe it or not. His long back straight is not long enough, is it then? Just watching then. DRS disabled then after 8 laps of rain, Tango is saying. I missed that completely because I was looking down then. So the DRS has finally been disabled. It's finally been disabled as we're just watching Winnie, who was just going a bit wide. Vessier has now got a 7-second lead then. And that is only just like in 8-9 laps, and he has been pretty phenomenal, hasn't he, since the rain's come down. Marsky up into 9th position there, of course, the latest driver to go onto the intermediate tires. Well, apart from Alibi, I should say. Of course, the Marsky went from soft to medium, I believe he did, and then he went on the intermediate tires there. So a stop extra for Marsky. Potentially, I think Haas may look at that strategy and potentially think maybe we should start on the medium tires. But however, it helped Marsky elevate himself up a few positions at the beginning of the race then. Just watching Winnie once again then, who's been pretty formidable so far. Moving, feeling so drained right now, but not feeling feeling all isn't great then, unfortunately, for Moomin. Down in 13th position now. Moomin struggling, isn't he, in 13th in that second Ferrari after a decent start, a strong start as well. Very interesting to see how this race has completely changed, hasn't it, since the rain has come down. So I'm wondering then if that's down to setup, down to confidence, down to driver skill in the wet potentially. I would say it's a combination of all three. I would hazard a guess. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe there's other factors in the car as well. Serious mushroom, maybe having some other issues going on we do not know about then. So it's just an interesting development towards the end of this. Very enthralling race here in Barcelona. Of course, next week then for ALR Formula One, we will be in Canada, so we're going to have a fly across the pond then to Canada. Then of course the Wall of Champions is going to be very interesting indeed. Then Sunday night will be gold, then Monday will be silver, Tuesday will be bronze. And of course, Formula 2 will actually be in Spain. So we have now going to Monaco for Formula 2, as it has been matching more or less the Formula 1 calendar. But now Formula 2 branches off then from Formula 1. And of course, we now go to Monaco tomorrow night. As that's one of the Aston Martins getting out of the way there. I thought it was one of the Mercedes having issues there, but it was one of the Aston Martins. We're just watching Vessier having a final tour, or was having a final tour of Spain as well. Magnificent driving here for magnificent driving for Vessier. Brilliant stuff indeed. He's been a machine, hasn't he, since this race has come down. TK just not far enough. TK should be able to get fourth then, and that is more important points in the pot then for the Williams team. And here is Vessier then, brilliant drive indeed then, going for his second Grand Prix win of the season, his third Grand Prix win of his career. Or is it fourth Grand Prix win of his career then? Just on board the Red Bull. Enjoy this final lap then for Vessier. I'm sure that all the Vessier fans will certainly enjoy it as well. This is going to be his third Grand Prix win. Swanshank's getting a penalty right at the very end there, but great drive from Swanshank as well, I must say. Not looking forward to Canada. 3 minutes of penalties, Gordo is going to say. Gordo is saying that Vessier's got 50% of the vote so far, 25% for Dutch Troops and Slayer as well. And here comes Vessier now. What an absolutely stupendous performance there for himself and the Red Bull team. And this is putting himself back into the championship. An off day for New Potato. A mistake in qualifying for New Potato, which has really cost him the championship lead. And now Vessier wins the Spanish Grand Prix. The championship lead is down to 2 points. What an incredible day for himself and the Red Bull team. And that is exactly what Red Bull wanted. That alibi, I think. Yes, he did. Even though alibi did cross the line there, so he does get a classified finish there. Vessier, brilliant stuff indeed there. Jake was about 3/10 seconds away from second there, but a good third. Winning his first ever top 10 finish there with a brilliant 5th position today. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Rain at the end there, of course. We haven't had rain there through the last 2 days. It's been so pleasant here in Spain then, but we've had rain in qualifying and in the race as well. So it's been a race that has really thrown up a couple of surprises here and there, hasn't it? But Vessier is the winner of the Spanish Grand Prix, a 3-time Grand Prix winner now in bronze. A bit of a final race here between Smithy Almighty and Moomin, who finished 12th and 13th, and with Vintage going to be the last man across the line in a 14th position there. That was a very good race there. GG there from Slayer, and car rubbish in the wet. Don't know how I finished then for Mushroom. Then of course that's a shame for Mushroom because he was quick before that rain. Same with Winnie as well. Lucas Percy, alibi. Oh goodness me. A bit of a maybe something in the sting in the tail then is Percy has mentioned that alibi caused some kind of issue with Dr. Troops then, so that may have to be investigated then potentially. Maybe it might have been by accident. We'll soon wait and see. Moomin, sorry guys, do not worry about that, my good sir. Of course, it was a tough day for Moomin and for the Ferrari team, unfortunately, as Ferrari then, who have been doing so well in the Constructors' Championship, but this is a day to forget then for the Scuderia. Dan felt like I was the only one with a wet set wet setup on there. Don McDonough was, yeah. I think especially the opening stages, then I think everyone was very much flying on the dries, wasn't they? But the rain did come very late on in that Grand Prix, didn't they? Svestia then doing the march as he is now 2 points away ish from New Potato in the championship then. So the championship fight is very much back on in Bronze and going. Well, it was never off to begin with, was it? Let's be fair. But Vestier then, of course, won this race and he'll be very happy with that. And final classification then from Spanish Grand Prix. Vestier won that race, his third race win of his career, his second race of the season. Dr. Troops finished second day. Strong drive for Dr. Troops then. Third position for Slayer from 7th to 3rd. Magnificent stuff indeed. TK in 4th position, getting those points in. Good stuff. Winning his first ever top 10 point scoring finish. Great 17. Don McDonough in 6th position. Brooks in 7th. Luke 8th. Marsky fastest up and in 9th. Serious Bushman in 10th. 11th position. Swanshanks 12th. Smith Mighty. Moomin 13th. Vintage 14th. Alibi 15th. 6th Merc 16th. Star 17th. Retirements Kiki, New Potato, and Scooby Stew all retired from the Spanish Grand Prix. And of course, in the box now is Vestier, and Vestier, that is your third race win of your career. But more importantly, you're now only 2 points behind New Potato in the championship. He had a bit of a nightmare today. So how are you feeling for that then? Was the pressure on knowing that New Potato was very much stuck in the midfield today?
Knowing that it was stuck in the midfield was a pretty good chance of getting some points back. But I knew you didn't have to rush anything in that race at all. So, yeah. Bit unfortunate for his DNF, but I've had one at Baku, so it's just fair. It just happens.
It certainly does. That's the unfortunate nature of Formula One, and also this race itself. Then it was an absolutely incredible enthralling battle between yourself and the top five. Then in the early stages, then how difficult was it then? Because it seemed like a DRS train. One driver took the lead, another driver took the lead. There, no one could seem to pull away out of that DRS range.
Yeah. When I finally caught up to them, I just couldn't get past either one of them. It was either Treepox and Winnie getting past each other. I think because they had either lower wings than I did, or they had a bit more ERS. I just couldn't get past either one of them. So yeah, it was a bit hard trying to get to P1 in the dry stint. So it was just trying to make the opportunities work, which I couldn't. But it was good to just stay in P3 and watch them pit for all the wet tyres before I did so.
Apologies. And was you concerned about being involved in any shenanigans? Because the top, yourself in the top five was absolutely fighting tooth and nail. Then was you concerned about any misdemeanors that happened? And was you what was you thinking in the heat of the moment?
Trying to keep it as safe as possible. There was a bit of moments like lap 1 with Treepox on the start and me outbraking myself, where I had a couple of moments. So, but luckily there was no damage or for anyone or any crashes. So yeah, it was pretty good.
And of course, you've really reeled in the championship leader today. Then as well, I think it's down to about 2 points. Then going into Canada in a week's time. What are you changing your approach? Then of course, it was a very unlucky day for New Potato. Then, but you got the win now. Do you think that this is momentum's back on your side?
Hopefully, I haven't done Canada on this game, so. But from past games, it's quite bad on penalties, so I'm just going to take that as easy as possible. Because, like Imola last week, that's quite hard on pens, and I bottled a chance of victory last week, so yeah.
But you certainly didn't bottle it tonight. Fantastic stuff. And of course, when the rain did come, you absolutely stomped away. I think the lead went up to about 8 seconds then. You certainly enjoy the rain, don't you?
Yeah, a bit like real life. That was like my first. Well, the first couple of laps in the wet was in quali, so I used that session to see how the car feels, and then I made a wing change for the race to keep it a bit more stable. But other than that, yeah.
And it certainly did wonders. Well done today, Vessier. Your third Grand Prix win of your career. Magnificent stuff indeed. And only 2 points-ish between yourself and New Potato. Fantastic stuff, Ben. Dr. Troops, you
Thank you.
finished a very fine second today then. But you and Winnie was having an almighty scrap at the top of the field then. Swapping backwards and forwards then. Was it a bit frustrating there, knowing that your competitors were just behind waiting to pounce?
Well, I started on the wrong tire, so sorry, Lucas Percy. But me and Winnie just had to work together to make our stint last until the rain, because I thought the rain was going to hit a little earlier.
And so, what tires did you meant to start on then? Because I think you started on. Did you start on the medium tires today?
Yeah, I started on mediums because I thought they'll easily make it to the rain, but they were quite dead when the rain came.
And of course, you and Winnie was having an almighty scrap as well. Then, how when you was fighting with Winnie, was you enjoying it at the top there? Because it seems to be like yo-yoing around. Was it a bit frustrating there? Or was it a bit frustrating that you wanted to possibly try and pull away from Vessia and the drivers behind?
No, I just wanted to keep the hard runners behind us. Couldn't pull away as well because Winnie's quick as well in the dries apparently.
And of course, unfortunately, you got a 3 second penalty today. Do you think now, without that 3 second penalty, you could have got the win? Looked like the Vestia absolutely driven away though in the wet though. Do you think without that penalty, do you reckon that may have let your head drop a bit?
Nah, man. BFS here was, I think, winning lower wings than me because I had no pace in the wet at all. I barely finished out of Jake this layer, so.
Was that because is that because you didn't have a wet setup, or is it just not that you don't fancy the rain?
Didn't really do practice in the rain because I didn't thought it was gonna rain. Or I just hoped it wasn't gonna rain. And wet racing is just no dream, I think, anyway.
To be fair, I didn't expect it to rain either, to be honest. So very unusual for it to rain in Spain then. And of course, then another good podium as well today. You are very much Mr. Consistency at the moment. Do you, Vestia and New Potato have very much had a lot of the plaudits in this championship so far, but you're not too far behind, are you, going into Canada?
I don't know how much I'm behind, to be honest. I think I was like 55 behind before the race. So I'll be like 40 or something now. So we'll see what happens.
Very cool, aren't you? I love it. You don't seem to get stressed about anything, do you?
Nah, I didn't care really. I just see what happens, and if it goes my way, it goes my way, and if it doesn't, it doesn't.
I love it. I need to take a leaf out of your book. Fantastic stuff today, troops. Brilliant driving to get second then. And Slayer made it on the podium as well today. I forgot to see actually if Slayer, this is your first podium of the season, Slayer. But you had a couple of good fourths then, and then today you got on the podium as well then. But you was very much the final driver in the battling for the top five there. Was you enjoying it, or did you feel like, oh, I can have a go at this and I can maybe get a win? What was you thinking then at the back of that queue?
I was just quite happy to hang on to the top four. I had a good start. I jumped two people lap one, and I knew everyone in front had better race pace than me in general. Um, so I just used what I do best and saved my ERS. So then, whenever they did pull nearly a second, I would use more to keep in the DRS train. I waited most of the race for them to make mistakes, like the occasional one from Winnie and TK, and luckily it paid off in the end. And I managed to use my spare ERS in the rain to overtake TK.
And of course, before the rain, let's go back to the start then, because by the sounds of it, then you're putting this podium stay then down to the start then, because you did, as you said, you jumped 2 cars. Then do you think then if you didn't jump those cars that you would have been battling the midfield? Because the gap between yourself and sixth position was quite mega after the opening stint.
Perhaps that was the case. Um, I don't know whether if those two cars in front of me had stayed in front, if they would have caught onto the train as well. I think that could have been the case, but I think there was an incident behind me a lap or two after, which then caused the train to like be 3 seconds behind. So anyone that was quicker had lost out before the DRS. But yeah, avoiding that and getting the top five was crucial to having a chance at a podium. But it was just mainly about ERS management and turning up my wings slightly before the race, ready for the rain period.
So would you, when the rain did cut, and it sounded like you were a lot more confident when the rain came then. So would you like praying for that rain to come earlier as possible, really, so you felt like you could have a chance, and maybe even second or the win today?
I didn't think, to be honest, the top three was on the cards. I thought I was just going to finish fourth or fifth. And when the rain come, I turned up my wings only by two or three, but I wanted it to come slightly sooner because I was starting to struggle on the hards. Uh, but then I think it helped that everyone sort of pit onto the inters a bit early. Because by the time I got to the end of the race, my inters were 60%, and I was the last one to sort of pit out of the top five. So I think that helped, but it was stressful knowing when to pit and also not to lose it with these guys because these other top four that was in that battle was they're all mega drivers. That was just a close battle, and I was just hoping not to get tangled in it.
And do you think that this might be the start of maybe you challenging these drivers more often then going into Canada? And what do you reckon then about your championship aspiration? Because you're in the heart of the that incredible midfield battle then between Cirrus Mushroom, Dynamo Dan, Marsky, yourself, Brooksy, and Co. Then, what are you aiming for then for the remainder of the season?
I'm probably aiming for top eight, finishing the championship, sixth ideally. But these guys are way too quick. It's only because I can hang on to them and save my ERS while that it's managing to keep me in some of the top battles. But on pure pace and especially on some of the street circuits, I haven't got the greatest pace on. So if I finish somewhere between sixth and eighth in the championship at the end of the year, I'll be happy with that.
And so are we. Well done today. So brilliant stuff indeed. And that's going to be it then for Spain. Goodness me, I didn't expect it to rain in Spain tonight, but it certainly threw up a curveball for the drivers, didn't it? Vestia took his third Grand Prix win today. Absolute masterclass in the rain, wasn't it? And it was a race of two stories, wasn't it? Brilliant stuff indeed. We go into Monaco tomorrow night for the Formula 2 Championship. I cannot wait for that one. That is going to be absolutely chaos, isn't it? Sunday night, it is Gold's turn then as well. Remember, it's so close in Gold. Then there's 2 points separates the top two in the championship, 7 points separates the top four in the World Championship, and Boxtel is looking on fine form as well with 2 race wins in the last 2 races. Then join us for Gold on Sunday. But unless you want F2 action, then join us tomorrow night. Goodbye.